Hi, my name is Sherry, and this is my son.
Welcome to Crocks in the Kitchen.
I'm Sherry.
And I'm Brian. Yes, this is the woman who gave birth to me. She is a wonderful mother, and I will say this: I've always been a mama's boy. I've always gone to my mother with things. She has been a huge shaper of my entire life, from books, right? Because you are a massive reader. From movies that I love to watch, although Dad did give me the whole other comedic side of things too. And just all around, she's one of my all-time favorite people on earth. Good? Look at that smile.
Thank you.
So there's one particular reason as to why I have brought you on, and that is it is the end of October now, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I may have mentioned this before on a previous video. I know I've mentioned it on a live stream before, that my mother went through having breast cancer a long time ago, back when I was 8 or 9 years old. So I don't remember a whole lot of actually what happened as far as the treatments were concerned. And I think Dad also kind of shielded us a bit more from seeing the heavier parts of the entire process. And so I figured today would be a great day to get my mom on and actually ask her questions about the entire journey that she went on through this. You up for it?
Ready.
Okay, so the first question I have for you is, when were you actually diagnosed?
I was diagnosed around the 1st of November in 1990.
Wow. And how old were you at the time?
39.
Oh, so that's how old I am now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was so long ago.
Yes.
But how did you actually find out that you had something? How did you realize that something was wrong?
Well, we had been playing a lot of tennis with you boys, and I found this lump in my breast. And so I went to the doctor, and they did a biopsy and said, yep, it's cancer.
So were you having any pain at the time or anything like that?
Well, it was more like a sore muscle feeling pain that I had. Because normally you do not have pain with the cancer until late stage.
Yeah. But, I got to ask, when you were going through this entire process, before, what was the biopsy actually like?
It was awful.
Well, I can imagine, but still.
Well, they actually cut the whole entire lump out at the biopsy. And then I had to come back later then and have surgery again.
Gotcha. So, how did you feel though, when you actually were told that you had cancer?
Oh, I was in a daze. I was completely out of it. All I could think about was, who's gonna raise my kids?
Yeah. Let's face it, we all love Dad, but that would have been a weird childhood to grow up in. But yeah, so you don't do you remember much though from that time or from that day or whatever, or?
Really, after he told us that it was cancer, and from the rest of that day is kind of like a blur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know you've talked about this before, that your doctor was he wanted to be very aggressive in the treatment and stuff. So what kind of treatment did you actually go through?
Well, I had a modified radical mastectomy, and then I did 30 sessions of radiation and 6 months worth of chemo.
Man. See, and that's the, I was saying, I think that Dad shielded us a lot from that kind of stuff, because I don't even really remember a lot of the things that you were going through.
Well, you were in school most of the time.
Also that too. But I have, I know I have flashes of that time period of you doing, I remember you were cooking something and you were just really weak at the time, and you tried to move the pot and you ended up dropping the pot and spilling it everywhere. I don't know why that's like burned into my memory, but I do know this, that one thing that I do greatly remember was the teapot that you got that held
Oh,
all the different
yes.
Bible verses in it that were about healing and that kind of stuff. And so I
Yes.
used to pick one out like every single day and
I
read
did the
it.
same.
And so yeah, it's just I know that there's a lot of emotions and stuff that go through there, but did the doctor like kind of give you odds or anything when you first started out?
No, he didn't really give me odds. It was a stage 3 cancer,
Okay.
which is kind of in the middle there. 4 and 5 are not good, so 3 was in the middle ground there. And he said that everything was going to be okay, that we were going to fight it really aggressively, and that I wasn't going to lose my hair.
Yeah.
Told me that the first visit.
And that's true. You did not lose
I
your
did
hair.
not lose
I
my
remember.
hair.
I remember
It
that.
got very, very thin since then, but
So I know I've got questions written down, but have you had any like long lasting effects from the treatment
no,
or
not
treatments in
really.
general?
Not really.
I know. Well, I know you always talk about your hair being thinner and stuff like that, but I don't remember a time necessarily when you had like super thick hair. Like Jessica's got massively thick hair, so.
No, my hair was never real thick like that. But as I've gotten older, it's gotten very, very thin.
Well, yeah, that's understandable. I mean, that happens with age. But then again, I mean, like, I have very similar hair to you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I joked that when we first started, I was like, we actually have similar haircuts now too. This is incredible. But back then, you weren't even wearing glasses, and now we both wear
we both
glasses.
have
So
glasses.
there you go. So I do tend to take after you, though, a little bit more so than Dad when it comes to most aspects of my life. Although, as people have probably guessed, I'm certainly a talker,
Yes.
just like Dad. And you're not so much of a talker. You don't like being in the spotlight at all, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I had to drag her onto the channel and do this. No, I didn't. I basically just asked you, and you were like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." So I do remember one of the effects that you had was your hand was swollen for a long time,
Yes.
like it was like fluid damage or something like that, or lymph node damage or something.
Lymph node damage. They took all the lymph nodes out, and that caused the swelling. And it took several years before that went away.
Yeah, I mean, it was there
Maybe
for a
5
long,
years.
long time that I remember, and you were having to wear like a glove and stuff on there, and they were doing treatments and stuff like that on your hand.
Yes.
But I always thought it was interesting because when I was growing up later on, I was like, oh, Mom's got like the one hand that's like just bigger than the other. So I always thought that was kind of cool because it was like you got like I don't know, I just thought that was cool. But so since all the treatments, since everything, you've been completely like cancer free, right?
Cancer free, almost 31 years now.
That's crazy. And I know like they always talk about like the odds of it coming back are pretty high, like with a lot of different women, but you completely defied those odds.
Yes. And I have no more chance of getting breast cancer than the average person. The fact that I had it before does not raise my risk now because it's been so long.
Nice. But final thing I got to say, is there anything that you would like to say to other women out there who, might be getting into that age range where breast cancer is a risk or anything?
Well, have your mammograms done every year. It's very important.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say that growing up with you, you've always been, the more silent type person. You were always more so to be found in a corner reading a book or something like that than a lot of stuff. But I will say this, my mom is, like I said, is one of the most important people in my life. She has been a massive influence on me, not only for all of the pop culture things that I love, and she's my movie buddy. And that started back up again since we've moved back in. Where we will go to like a movie, maybe once a week or so, just because. I mean, we always like a lot of the same stuff anyway. But even more so than that, she's been a massive influence on my life in my cooking. It was our kitchen here that I learned to cook in the first place. She taught me how to make all of the foods that I loved as a child, and a bunch of other stuff too. But even just the fact that you gave me free reign to experiment and do goofy stuff in the kitchen, I absolutely loved that. And I am so grateful that you not only went through this aspect of your life, but you came out of it on the other side, in my opinion, like unfazed and your normal self. And I'm happy that you're alive today.
Me too.
Yes. So I think that's pretty much it for this one. Everybody, seriously, like she said, go out, get checked out by your doctor. If you even remotely think that there's a possibility of something being there, please go and get it checked out. I know 3 people that I know, 3 personal friends that I have had, have lost their mothers to different kinds of cancer, and it's a very big deal. And I know that Jessica has gone on the big walks, the Walk for the Cure kind of things, and stuff, because she had cancer in her family with her grandmother, and it is something that affects a lot of lives. And so please go out there and get checked, especially if you think that there is the smallest chance that there is something wrong. Okay?
Okay.
All right, now for the pitch afterwards. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and click the bell that is right next to it, so you get notified whenever we post a new video. And who knows, Mom might show up in a future video too. You can also find us on social media, Facebook and Instagram primarily. And yeah, you can interact with us on there and send us messages, and we love posting pictures and everything there too. So please follow us on there. But I think that's all I got.
That's all I got.
We will see you next time on Crocks in the Kitchen. Bye.
Bye.